Angels, to see how I achieve 2 different natural hair dyes with henna and indigo. Keep watching. So the following chart should help to explain the henna and indigo measurements. The more indigo you use, essentially, the darker the dye you will achieve. As you can see in the middle of this chart, if you use half part henna and half part indigo, you will achieve a perfect brown. All these dyes should sit for at least 4 hours. And now we can get into the mixing process. I want to start with henna. Henna is great for your hair. It does help with growth, strengthening, shine, and a whole list of other things. So it's a great treatment alone, but it also gives your hair a nice red tone. So to mix henna, like a lot of natural mixes, you need something plastic or glass. So I'll be using a plastic bowl along with a plastic fork for mixing the henna dye, of course, 1 pack of henna dye, some green tea, and some coconut oil or oil of your choice. So I'm going to start with my liquids first. I go ahead and make the green tea. You want to use a hot liquid because it helps with the dye release of the henna and the indigo when we get there. But I pour my tea first just so the henna doesn't clump at the bottom of the bowl. The tea actually helps with the color that I achieve. I achieve a more golden color by using green tea, and because it is slightly acidic, it also helps with the dye release. So I empty 1 pack of henna into the bowl. In addition to the henna, I'm going to add some oil at the end, but I begin to stir until I achieve, I like to always get like a pancake batter consistency for easy application. And so essentially I stir until there are no clumps. So add your tea as much as you need. So once you're done mixing, your henna should look like brownish, and then you can put a cap over it or saran wrap it. Just cover it with some type of lid and let it sit in a dry, non-moist area for 4 to 6 hours. The longer the better. The longer you let it sit, the more dye essentially is released. So I let mine sit for about 12 hours, I believe. And this is the consistency I have, and you can kind of see the dye released on top. Those little darker spots are dye. So I'm going to be using this on hair that has gray all throughout. So my mom's hair is gray and she wanted to achieve a color that was not gray. So we're just going to experiment with this dye and see what we would achieve. So here it is, gray, like white gray. So when I begin to apply the henna, I do it in sections for easy application. And I noticed, like, when I had started applying it to the front of my mom's hair, that it kind of goes on like a mask, like a clay mask. It just reminded me of a clay mask, the way that it made her curls like start to like form more. It started to show the true texture of her hair, so you can feel it like working immediately. And then you can see the color is like a honey, like blondish like color. So that was great, and that's what we wanted to achieve. Some people use henna and indigo together, but you can definitely use the henna alone and see the color that you achieve on your hair. To me, henna works like a rinse as well as like indigo. So yes, you will dye your hair, but the longer you let it sit, the better. Which is great for your hair because it's all natural, so it has longer time to penetrate. And if you let it sit with like heat or let it sit, cover it up, even better. So I'm just finishing up applying it to the top of my mom's hair after doing section by section, making sure I get her ends and covering all the braids like really good. If you have gray hair now, you know that gray hair is like color resistant, so you want to focus on making sure you get every strand for your best results. And I just want to show you all like how her hair looks after I apply it all. Curls a poppin'. So once I had it all in her hair, I followed up with a nice little shower cap that I used to cover the dye, and we let the dye sit for only 4 hours. So the results are as follow. So my mom really liked this color. I could refer to it as, or I will call it a honey blonde color. So we did not do the last indigo step, but I will show you all the indigo in the next portion of this video. But if you do have gray hair and you just wanted to achieve like a blonde color, this is how. I will leave a link to the henna I used below and a link to this indigo. They both are from the same manufacturer. I got them off of Amazon and 100% chemical free. So the mixing of the indigo is very similar to the henna. You want to use water. I used distilled water this time around. You do want to apply a little bit of salt. I used a teaspoon of salt. It's supposed to help the dye take better to your hair. And plastic bowl and mixing tool. And the indigo dye 1 pack. So I start by pouring the water first so that the indigo does not clump at the bottom of the bowl. Add my 1 teaspoon of salt and I mix it in to get like a salty water, kind of a base. Then I go ahead and add my 1 pack of the indigo dye. It looks very similar to the henna dye. It's just green. They both start out green because they are a plant, but you'll notice like once you start mixing the indigo, it turns this like dark blue color, which is really cool. Just a little history. Indigo was used in the past to dye like things like jeans and other fibers to achieve a blue color. So I also heated up the water to help with the dye release as I mix. So it goes from like dark green to like dark blue to like almost a jet black. It is possible to dye your hair with indigo alone, but because I wanted my hair to get dyed and be nourished at the same time, I will be mixing my indigo with henna to achieve a true black color. Indigo would take you all the way to like jet black, and I didn't want to go that dark. But yes, this is like clump free indigo. Alright, so I have the 2 products here in front of me, the indigo and the henna. So for my method, I'm going to mix these 2 together and make a color for myself, mostly indigo with henna. Okay, so I have a plastic bag down because this will stain, and I'm using gloves because I don't want my hands to stain. As you can see, the indigo, it kind of looks like if you break a pen, like a blue or black pen, like the ink you get from that, it kind of looks like that. but that's a good sign that the dye has released. So I'm just eyeballing this, y'all. It has like a, I don't know if you can pick it up. It's like a greenish blue kind of undertone, but that's fine because when I mix it with the henna, it's gonna be black, brown, a natural black brown color as far as you can tell when it gets in my hair. So just eyeballing it. And I'm mixing it with the henna because I don't want to take the whole process of dyeing it with the henna first and then having to go back with the indigo. And because the henna is so good for your hair, it kind of outweighs any drying that the indigo will do by itself. So right now, this is the color. I don't know if the camera is really picking it up, but it looks brown. And I want to go for like a black. My hair right now, I'll show it in a second. It's pretty brown. So I want to get it as dark as possible. Okay, so it's about as dark as I can get it. And we'll see what it does. Okay, I don't know if the camera is really picking up color good, but my hair is pretty like brown for some reason. Like, I don't know if it's because of the sun over the summer, but I just want to get like a more natural black color going for my hair. So we'll see how this dye does. Even if it doesn't really take, henna is still pretty good for your hair. So it's gonna be like a nice treatment mask for my hair either way. So I'm all for it. Yes, this is like not washed hair. I'm just gonna do it on dirty hair. Hopefully it takes very well. Maybe if you wash your hair first, you might get a better result, but we'll see what I even get when I get it. So stay tuned. Okay, so I'm just gonna divide my hair in 3 sections. I really hope my the audio is good. I did not feel like grabbing my mic, but the show must go on. I'm trying to get as many hours in with this on my hair as possible, so I was just like, go for it. Go for it. So, here I go. Just gonna try to protect my hairline and ears with some Vaseline so I don't get those weird stains. put dye on my eyebrows because I don't have no eyebrows. I need some saran wrap because I don't want to get this on my sheets. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. So go ahead and wrap it up. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to saran wrap it. Got it good. And then I'm going to use my little plastic bag method. Shout out to Target. I love you so much. Good night. Okay, so it's the next morning. And this is the color I have. It's definitely darker than what I started with. So these are the results of the Henna Indigo dye. Thank you all for watching. I really hope it helps somebody out there who does not want to put chemical dye in their hair. Go ahead and like the video if you like the video. And as always, be blessed.